people don't know writing like at all, a character arc is a story arc.
Character arcs and story arcs are not one and the same. They are not even close to being one and the same. Character arcs can coincide with a story arc, but a character arc and a story arc are not one and the same, and I will explain why. We'll go through a couple examples, and I'll start with my Devil's Deal series. This story follows Selma. She is a mother of 2 kids, married to a local town guard, and they unfortunately are in poverty. Her husband's up for a promotion that they've both been working hard to achieve, her on the political side, him basically doing the guard job. And with this promotion comes better lifestyle, better clothes, and getting out of the slums. So, let's jump into what is Selma's character arc. In her meeting in chapter 1 with the thick Forest Elf Cannabissa, Selma makes the confession, I'll still be a failure as a wife and mother. They deserve better, and it's my job to make sure that they are taken care of. It's what I was born to do. This is what's known as a false belief. And a false belief is made up of a ghost and a wound, basically something that wounded them, and then the ghost is something that reinforces that false belief that they gained from the wound. And a character arc is the process of that character going through obstacles to overcome that false belief. They are constantly being challenged on whether that false belief is right or wrong, and whether they succeed is going to indicate whether they had a positive character arc or a negative character arc. But the thing about the character arc is the character arc is internal. It is something the character internally needs to overcome. That is where a lot of people will say that's where the heart of the story is. That's why we are following the story, is for that character's journey internally to realize what's wrong with them. And for Selma, she believes that her worth, her value, her identity is tied into being a wife and a mother. Like in chapter 9, the group, based on her actions in combat and helping them through this latest event, votes her the new group leader. And internally, she is struggling because now she has responsibilities beyond just family. She has to think for herself in order to make sure her group gets back alive. However, her coming to this realization is not the end of the story. This would just be an end to this character arc that Selma's going to go over. And Selma can have multiple character arcs throughout the story because she is constantly going to have to learn. New events could cause new traumas that cause new false beliefs that then need to be overcome. But a story arc is a sequence of events of the story. A story arc is external events that are affecting the world that they exist in. For example, the background or the life prior to the inciting incident is literally Selma living her life trying to help her husband make that promotion happen to enrich her and her family's lives. And then the inciting incident that kicks off the main events of the story is the bandits coming to town, destroying the guard that he was responsible for, cutting off his arm, which causes him to lose his job, his promotion, no medical severance, and no pension, which means that the family can no longer afford to pay their mortgage, and thus the bank is going to come after them for their home and their freedom. Now, as far as Devil's Deal is concerned, we are in the rising action portion. And then because the bank is coming after them, Selma has to become an adventurer in order to earn money quickly, which puts her on the path to meeting Team GOAT, aka her adventuring party that she ends up commanding. All of this which leads her to the Goblin Cave where this cultist group is summoning a devil. Because the summoning doesn't work out to the cultist's desires, the devil's threatening to get set back. He doesn't want to go back, so he offers to make her a deal. Her body in exchange for power to survive, which is going to force her into more events now that she is tied to this devil and dealing with these cultists. You see how the events of the story are external. The actual plot of the story is external to her internal things. She is going to go through her character arc during the rising action, and it may impact the climax. But the climax is going to be her resolution to whatever's going on with this devil contract that she's in. It's going to be the climax dealing with potentially a cult or some organization that has impacted her life externally. As a final example for this video, did you know that Polly himself, the side character, went on a character arc? He had the false belief that because Pan was a Brimborn, that she was part of the people who took his first love away. He attacked her multiple times, had multiple opportunities to change his mindset. She gave him plenty of evidence that she was not against him. She has saved him plenty of time. Each time he failed to grow from that, ultimately ending with his character arc being ended by the cult leader. So Polly ended up having a negative character arc. It did not coincide with the story's climax or the falling action or the resolution. In fact, his character arc ended in the rising action because he failed, because they're not tied to each other. Multiple character arcs can fit within a story arc, but a story arc is the overarching pathway of the story itself. But if you want to see how I fully execute this, go ahead and grab a copy of The Devil's Deal. I've got 7 copies left, or The Night of Slaughter. I got about 15.